Think about a tree you want to grow strong, with deep roots that can withstand any wind. You would not plant it on the edge of a cliff. You would plant it in fertile soil, and in the first days after planting, you would protect it, water it, shield it from harm, create a space where it could establish itself before facing the world. Your mind is that tree, and the first minutes of your day is the fertile soil. When you wake up, your brain is in a state where it is most open to change, most malleable, most ready to accept new truths. The first words you speak, the first thoughts you think, they penetrate deep. They color how you think, how you react, how you live for that entire day. This is why the Stoics woke early. This is why elite athletes train their minds first thing. This is why meditation practitioners see the most transformation from morning practice. Not because it is magic, because biology. I do this every single day. Not because I wake up inspired. I do it because it is discipline, choice, and choice creates result. Because discipline is what sustains when inspiration disappears, and inspiration disappears every single day. Master your mind, or it will master you. These 5 statements are not magic, but they will reprogram how you face your life. And when you change how you face things, everything changes. Let us begin. Prayer 1. I choose my response. Life is going to hit you. It will. This is not a possibility. It is a certainty. You cannot control what happens. You can control one thing, one single thing. Your response. Between what happens and what you do about it, there is a space. Viktor Frankl, a man who survived Nazi concentration camps, discovered this. He wrote, "Between the stimulus and the response, there is a space. In that space resides our freedom and our power to choose our response." You cannot control if someone treats you unfairly, but you can control how you deal with it. You cannot control if you lose a job, but you can control whether you become paralyzed or whether you rise and move forward. You cannot control what the world does, but you can control what you do about it. Epictetus was a slave. He could not control his master, could not control if he was beaten, but he knew something that changed everything, that he could control his own thoughts about these things, his own responses, his own values. He became one of the most respected philosophers in history, not because he escaped slavery, but because he was stronger than it. When life tests you today, when something unexpected happens, when someone says something that hurts, there is that space. You might feel the initial emotion. That is human. But between that emotion and your action, there is power. There is choice. You can pause, breathe, ask yourself, who do I want to be in this moment? That is real freedom. Not freedom to control everything, but freedom to control yourself, no matter what happens outside. Prayer 2. Growth lives here. There is an illusion most people live in, that comfort and happiness are the same thing, that if you eliminate all difficulty, all discomfort, then you will be happy. Life proves that is a lie. Growth does not happen in warm water, it happens in friction. When you are stretched beyond what feels safe. When you face something you do not know how to do. When you feel that fear, that anxiety that says, I am not sure if I can do this. That is the moment. That is when growth lives. Seneca wrote, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor strengthens the body. When you lift a heavy weight, the muscle tears microscopically. Your body repairs it and makes it stronger. Same with your mind. Discomfort is the tear. Growth is the repair. But most people run from discomfort. They run from difficult conversations, from dreams that scare them, from challenges, and they remain the same for decades. Small, trapped. When you wake and say growth lives here, you are making a declaration. You are telling your mind that this day, this challenge, this fear you feel is not a punishment. It is an invitation to become more. Think about the tree again. A tree that grows in a greenhouse protected from every wind, every rain, every challenge. When removed from the greenhouse, it breaks, dies, because it never developed the strength it needs. But a tree that grows in nature, that faces winds, that is tested by seasons, that touches hard ground, develops deep roots, a strong trunk. When the storm comes, it sways, but it does not break. You are that tree. Growth lives exactly in those moments when you want to quit, when you want to go back, when the old part of you screams to retreat. That is when the new you is being born. Prayer 3. Today is what matters most. Your past is a ghost. Your mistakes, the things you should have done differently, the people you hurt unintentionally, they happened, but they do not exist now. They exist in a time you cannot reach. Your future is a promise nobody can guarantee. Your fears about tomorrow, your hopes about next year, your plans for 5 years from now, they might happen, or they might not. But they are not happening now. The only time that truly exists is now. This moment, this breath, this second. And when you die, you will not die in the past. You will not die in the future. You will die now. How many people spend their entire lives living anywhere except now? Living in their heads, in memories, in anxieties, in fantasies, while their actual life passes. Think about how many hours you have wasted reliving conversations from last month, punishing yourself for mistakes you cannot change, creating catastrophic scenarios in the future that may never happen. While the present slips through your fingers like water. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman world, wrote a reminder to himself. Limit yourself to the present, not because the past did not matter, but because his power was here, in the present, the only place he could actually influence. When you wake and say, today is what matters most, you are freeing yourself from 2 prisons. The anchor of the past, the paralysis of the future. You anchor yourself in now, in this day, in this irreplaceable collection of hours that is your real life, not a metaphor, your actual life. You live 365 days a year. If you spend most of them anywhere except now, you are living in a fictional realm. Everything changes when you really understand this. Prayer 4. I am enough. There is a lie you believe, a lie planted in you so gradually, so consistently that it now seems like truth. The lie that you need more before you deserve peace, that you need to accomplish more before you can rest, that you need to fix yourself before you are worthy of love, of respect, of being here. This lie has stolen years from you, made you run a race that has no finish line, created an insatiability that will never be filled, not because you do not succeed, but because the game is rigged. Think about a child when born. No child questions their value. No child thinks they need to accomplish something before they deserve to occupy space. You came into the world whole, enough, worthy of love and being here. Then the world taught you to doubt it, but what is more? More money. There will always be more money needed, more fame. There will always be someone more famous, more beauty. More beauty exists, more success. There is always another peak to climb. The finish line keeps moving because the game is designed for you to never win, and while you wait to have enough to finally rest, finally accept yourself, finally live, life passes. When you wake and say, I am enough, you are not claiming perfection. You are claiming wholeness. You are recognizing that your value is not based on productivity. Your worth is not measured by how many people approve. Your humanity is not something that needs to be earned. Epictetus taught that your true nature, your capacity to reason and practice virtue, is already complete within you. You do not need to improve your fundamental nature. You need to recognize it. You need to stop hiding from it. Imagine how your life changes if you really believed this. If you did not procrastinate out of fear of not being good enough, if you did not withdraw out of fear of judgment, if you did not silence your true ideas because you think you do not deserve to be heard, you would become someone who acts from fullness instead of scarcity. And here is the paradox. When you stop seeking external validation, when you stop trying to be enough for others, it is when you finally become attractive, when you finally get what you really wanted, not because you conquered it, but because you finally stopped seeking it. Prayer 5. I release control. Your hands are tired. You have been holding so tight, fighting so hard, trying to force life to follow a script only you see. The cost, your peace, your presence, your ability to breathe without anxiety gripping your chest. The Stoics understood something fundamental. There are things within your control, your judgments, your intentions, your responses, your actions, and there is everything else, which is practically everything. You cannot control other people's opinions about you. You can influence them, but you cannot control them. You cannot control how fast your dreams materialize. You can work hard, but you cannot control it. You cannot control whether people you love make the choices you think they should make. You can offer perspective, but you cannot control it. You cannot control the outcome of situations where you have already done everything in your power. But think about how much time you have spent trying to control exactly these things. How much energy you wasted. How many nights you did not sleep well because you were ruminating about something you had no way to influence. When you say, I release control, you are not surrendering. You are surrendering to reality. You are recognizing that there are limits. Within those limits, you are powerful. Outside them, no matter how hard you try, you cannot win. Think about a candle. The candle lights the fire, but it does not control where the wind takes it. The candle does not fight the wind, does not scream, "Why are you taking me there? I wanted to go here." The candle simply burns, exists, and the wind does what the wind does. You are the same. You light the fire, you work hard, you show up, you offer your best, but after that you release. You trust. Not that everything will turn out exactly how you want, but that you will be okay no matter how things unfold. Marcus Aurelius led armies, but he could not control the outcome of every battle. He governed an empire, but he could not prevent epidemics or betrayals or death. He learned to focus on what was his character, his decisions, his responses, and he found freedom, not by controlling everything, but by releasing what was never his to control. How the Stoics prepared, the real practice. Marcus Aurelius woke before dawn. He would sit and write, not for anyone else, just for himself. His writings, which we now know as meditations, were personal reminders, daily medicine for his mind. He did not do this once a month, every single day, because he understood what most people do not. The mind is like soil. If you do not plant seeds of truth every day, weeds of despair will grow. Seneca practiced something radical. He called it premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. He would spend time imagining difficult scenarios, not to be pessimistic, but to prepare. What if I lost my wealth tomorrow? What if my friends abandoned me? What if I fell ill? By imagining these things, by accepting them as possibilities, he reduced their power. When they actually happened, he was not shocked. He was ready. Epictetus, enslaved, maintained discipline every morning. He would remind himself of the fundamental truth that he controlled his thoughts, his values, his responses, nothing else. But that was enough. That was everything. These were not men who woke up inspired. They were men who woke up and did the work, daily, consistently, because they understood the mind is not something you fix once and forget. The mind is something you maintain, every single day. The protocol, how to implement this. This is simple, but simple does not mean easy. In the morning, before you touch your phone, before anything else, sit for 5 minutes. It can be on your bed, in a chair, on your knees. The position does not matter. The intention does. Say each prayer slowly, out loud, with conviction, because you are training your brain, creating new neural pathways, telling your subconscious, this is the truth. This is my reality today. I choose my response. Growth lives here. Today is what matters most. I am enough. I release control. Say each one as if it is a promise to yourself. Because it is. 5 minutes total. Then get up, move, take action. Because words without action are just noise. During the day, when you face difficulty, when anxiety rises, when you are trying to control something you cannot, when self-sabotage comes, you return to one prayer. Just the one that matters in that moment. Someone criticizes you. I choose my response. You are afraid to try something new. Growth lives here. You are worried about the future. Today is what matters most. You feel inadequate. I am enough. You are trying to control something you cannot. I release control. These are not pretty phrases. They are tools, anchors, reminders of truths you already know. In the evening before sleep, reflect. How was your day? How many times did you choose your responses? Where did you see growth? Where did you get stuck? How many times did you doubt yourself? How many times did you try to control the uncontrollable? Not to punish yourself, to learn, to recognize patterns, to reprogram. Why the first hour changes everything. The mind is like a cloud of ink in water, a pattern being continuously reshaped. When you wake, the cloud is clearer, more malleable, more receptive. The first words you speak, the first thoughts you have, they penetrate. They color the entire cloud. If you wake and immediately worry, that cloud becomes gray. If you wake and immediately compare yourself, that cloud becomes murky. If you wake and turn to your phone, that cloud becomes fragmented by 1,000 stimuli. But if you wake and deliberately place 5 truths into your mind, that cloud takes a different shape, becomes crystalline, shines, because you deliberately painted it that way. That pattern, that cloud you created in the morning, influences everything you do that day. How you talk to people, how you face challenges, how you react when something unexpected happens. Because you established the foundation, this is not magical thinking, this is how your brain works. When you repeat a thought with conviction, especially when you say it out loud, especially when you say it right after waking, when your brain is most malleable, you literally change the structure of your brain. That is neuroplasticity. That is the power you have. The closing, you watched until the end. Something here touched you. Because you are someone who understands that life can be more than just existing, more than just reacting. These 5 prayers are the foundation, the floor you build on. Not the complete house, but without the floor, the house does not stand. When you enter your real life, with your real challenges, with your real difficulties, you will remember. There is a choice between reacting and responding, between staying and growing, between living in the past or future and being here, between doubting yourself and recognizing yourself as whole, between fighting everything and releasing what you cannot control. Every time you make that choice, you become a little stronger, a little freer, a little closer to the person you know you could be. So here is my final request. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, sit for 5 minutes. Say these 5 prayers with conviction, with intention, knowing you are speaking to the most important person you will ever know, yourself. Do this. Then come back here and comment, "My mind, my power." Because when you write it, you commit. And when you commit, you change. Let that phrase be a reminder that you are no longer someone who just reacts to life. You are someone who deliberately builds it, If this meant something to you, subscribe. Every week we bring more truths about Stoicism, about ancient philosophy, about how to live a life that actually matters. Share with someone who needs to hear this, because these truths need to spread, because the world needs more people who understand the power they have. And I do this every single day, because discipline is not about inspiration, it is about choice, about waking up and deliberately painting your mind with the right colors, about knowing that the power is in you. Master your mind, or it will master you. This is the Stoic equilibrium. Reason as a way of life, virtue as strength, discipline as the path. See you in the next video.